Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Andreas Hadribastoli, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to drive a manual transmission car. But before we begin, I would like to introduce you to the camera crew, also expert in the automotive industry, Sean Sly, who is also filming. Let's begin our journey. Welcome back. Okay, we begin our lesson by describing the three basic components of how to drive a manual transmission car. We have first the shifter. This goes up to gear 5, and over here we have the reverse as well. We also have the pedals, the clutch, the brake, and the gas. And above here we have the RPM dash. This is used to let us know when we need to shift the car, and so forth. We begin by turning the car on. We hold the clutch down, and then we turn the ignition. So before we begin to move, I'm going to show you how to find the friction point. And this is done by releasing off the clutch slowly. And you can see over here the RPMs will drop slightly. So let's begin. We're going to put the shifter in gear 1. Release the handbrake. And I'm going to slowly lift my foot off the clutch.
Give gas.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached friction point. So now that we know the friction point, we can begin to drive the car. So let's do it. I'm gonna hold down the clutch and then put it into gear 1. I'm going to find the friction point again, and the car is gonna start to move slowly. I'm gonna also begin to apply the gas steadily. When I reach around 3,000 to 4,000, I'm going to switch it into gear 2. So let's do this. Alright, gear 2. I'm going to bring it onto the main road and try to show you all the gears in use.
What you shift.
And how to shift. Let's do this. Alright, gear 1. Gear 2 now, 4,000 shift to 3. We have gear 4. We have gear 5. Okay, so now that you have a basic overview of how to drive the car with all the shifting gears, I'm going to go into a little more detail and be a little more precise. So we begin to put it in gear 1 and start accelerating. I'm letting off the clutch slowly. I then apply the clutch again to switch to the next gear. And so forth. Now, there's one thing you have to keep in mind. If you don't push the clutch in all the way and you switch the gear, this is called grinding the gear. And this is probably one of the worst things to do for your engine and transmission. So now we have a little more of a difficult scenario. Right now we are parked on a hill and we need to begin accelerating without stalling. A lot of people have trouble with this because they have the fear of rolling back, and in most case scenario they tend to stall a lot. So let's begin. I'm going to put my foot on the clutch, put the car into gear, and I'm going to release the handbrake. My right foot is currently on the brake, and I'm going to slowly release off the clutch. But when I do that, I'm going to also have to let go of the brake and apply a little bit of gas, and during this time the car will roll back slowly. So let's do this. And we begin to accelerate. Okay, so we're on a hill again, and we're gonna begin accelerating in a different method. Now, say if you were parked and you're going to pull out and you have the fear of rolling back and hitting the other car. To prevent this, we're going to use our handbrake. So we begin by applying the clutch, putting it into gear 1, and holding the handbrake and putting the right foot onto the gas. I'm going to slowly hit the gas a little bit, release off the clutch to around 2000 RPM, and let go of the handbrake. And we have no rollback. Okay, so another crucial point we need to discuss is the downshifting. Now, with a manual car, you have to keep in mind when you're slowing down the vehicle, you're not using just the brake pad, but you're also slowing down the engine. So I'm going to show you how we do this once I turn around the bend and go down the hill. So I'm going to accelerate. I'm currently at gear 3 and I begin to downshift now, so I apply the clutch, bring it into 2, put my right foot on the brake, and I slowly let off the clutch, and this slows down the vehicle. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching my tutorial on how to drive a manual transmission car. Have a nice day.